Hey, it's Gregory here, founder of YourGuidanceOnDemand.com, where we teach you how to successfully use the law of attraction and your own divine guidance to create a life and a business of passion, purpose, and prosperity. But before I was ever in a position to teach others what I now know, I had to learn it for myself the hard way, I'm afraid. My life partner, Robin, and I ran a software company for several years that was losing money hand over fist. Over 5 years, we had been searching for backing for this software that we had created and had patented, but to no avail. We were laying off staff. We weren't paying ourselves in order to retain the crew we did have left. Morale was non-existent. We had creditors after us personally, we had creditors after us in the business, and our stress levels were through the roof. And during what seemed to be my darkest hour, I had a major aha moment. I had actually been studying the law of attraction for a few years at this point, and it had worked for me with the easy stuff, but I really didn't have it in the cells of my body. And you can understand law of attraction intellectually, it's a whole other ball game. To understand it, to really have experienced it, and to know it works. And of course, what I had done was I had fallen back into my old modes of operation, my old habits of thought when it came to the business. My focus was on the current reality that we were experiencing. My thoughts were on things like, what if we lose the business? What if we can't make the sale? What if we get evicted? What if we can't make payroll? All of those negative thoughts, negative emotion that just kept recreating the same situation over and over and over again. It's like your thoughts are the engine, your emotions are the fuel that attracts to you what it is that you're creating in your life. So what was I doing? It was that negative emotion I was carrying was fuel for more disaster and more crisis. And I had taken that to the ultimate level because I had brought it into the company, and now it had trickled down to the rest of the company, and we were all in that place. So that was when I decided I was going to just let go of everything that we had been doing, all of the old ways that we'd been operating, and I was going to use the law of attraction to prove the law of attraction actually does work no matter what kind of situation you find yourself in. And so I took this game into the company the next day. We called it our prosperity account, and it was based on the prosperity game, which is a process I learned from Abraham Hicks many years ago. And the game went like this. On day one, we deposited $10,000, imaginary dollars, into our prosperity account, and everyone in the company was asked to post to the spreadsheet how they would spend the funds on the company that day. Each day, the account was increased by an additional $1,000. So day two was $11,000, $12,000 on day three, and so forth. So here's what I learned. I was surprised that everybody started being very generous with each other. And they were actually, like the marketing department wanted to spend for the sales department wanted to spend on the programming department. And even though this money was imaginary, we were actually having fun, something we hadn't had for a very, very long time. And the goal of the game was not to turn the company around, it was to shift our energy. And it was to focus on anything that felt better than where we had felt for a long, long time. And the experiment worked. Overall, the company energy shifted. Many of us began to actually look forward to coming to work again. And the success of the law of attraction, working through this prosperity account, was just the beginning for me. Because what I've come to know is the universe doesn't know if you're focused on something that's real or imaginary. It just notices the essence of where you're focusing your energy and your thoughts, and it assumes that's real. So as far as the universe was concerned, prosperity was our reality. The prosperity count exercise just showed that every day I had more money than the day before. There was always more money in the account. So in the time that we were working in this process, I was able to stop thinking of lack and living in lack. There was always more. And so the exercise taught me to stretch my wealth mentality, and it was a valuable lesson that has to be learned in order to actually allow prosperity to follow. And follow it did. Within 9 months of launching the prosperity account exercise, we were approached to sell the company lock, stock, and barrel, and we went living from basically no paycheck to no paycheck because we weren't paying ourselves for the most part, to successfully selling that business for a very hefty sum of money. Learning about the law of attraction and actually experiencing how it works was one of the most transformational turning points in my life. And I learned the difference between feeling fearful and feeling hopeful. Fearful is not a good feeling. And so through the prosperity account, we learned that we had choices and we could choose to feel good or we could choose to feel bad. Now that seems simple. It's not necessarily easy depending on your belief systems, but it does work. And I did learn to let go of my old way of doing things and embrace a new way. So I would say to you that your current financial affairs may be in terrible shape. You could have more bills than you've got money coming in. You could have people hounding you on the telephone, creditors at your door, and you could have a desperate situation happening right now. But you do have a choice of feeling hopeful versus feeling fearful. And the difference between fearful and hopeful is the difference between things improving for you. So here's what you want to do. First of all, make peace with where you are. It is the most important thing. When you feel despair or anything that doesn't feel good, or you have a thought that feels better, then reach for that thought. And what you realize is if you can reach for a thought that has you feel just a little bit better, not a heap, but just a little bit, then right along with that thought, you can reach for another thought that helps you feel just a little bit better in the moment. Just a little bit. This is not going from despair to bliss. It's going from despair to a little less despair. And what you realize is, hey, now you begin to have a conscious awareness that you do have some control over your experience. And I cannot emphasize enough the importance of that conscious awareness that you can do something about the way you feel. And when you choose a thought that feels better than the thought you were choosing before, and you consciously acknowledge that you had the power to choose it, and you did choose it, and that it did change how you were feeling, now there's no place you can't go. Now, whether it's a cloud of despair, it doesn't matter. Your cloud of not being able to control it goes away. So the first thing is soothe your energy. Soothe it before you get into anything or take any action. Soothe it till you feel just a little bit better, and then take any action that you feel would help the situation. Okay? It's kind of like let go and let God first. Find your path of least resistance. Nurture yourself, because all of your power is in your now moment. And when you can get some relief in the now moment, even before anything else turns around, even before your circumstances change, you begin to attract what you do want and the results that you do want in your business or in your life. And in fact, when you focus on relieving your energy first, you can literally change the quality of your life before those situations ever turns around. So soothe your energy first. The next thing, find 5 things that you absolutely always feel better when you do them, and do them every day. Find things to appreciate. Hang with friends who you love. Go see a funny movie. Get inspired with a business book or a mentor that can help you in your business. Anything that has you feeling better, and then keep reaching for one better thought at a time, one moment at a time. And by working on shifting your energy, eventually the people, places, situations, circumstances, ideas, and events will begin to flow to you. That's my tip for you today, and in the meantime, laugh often, love freely, and live your life out loud.